If you're thinking about buying the Belkin Boost Up Arrow Charge USB-C cable because it promises fast charging for your iPhone 17, Samsung Galaxy S25, or even the Nintendo Switch 2, hold on. Because here's what surprised me. This cable isn't all it's cracked up to be. Sure, it boasts universal compatibility and ultra-durability, but there's a twist most reviewers don't mention. Does it really deserve your $10.71? Or are you better off looking elsewhere? Stick around because I'm digging deep into everything you need to know before hitting that buy button. So you've got the latest devices, maybe the iPhone 17 Pro or the Google Pixel 10, and you need a reliable, fast USB-C cable. The Belkin Boost Up Arrow Charge claims it can fast charge your device up to 50% in about 36 minutes and is tested to survive over 25,000 bends. Sounds perfect, right? But here's a question. Does it hold up during daily use, or is that durability claim just marketing fluff? Plus, I found out it sometimes doesn't sync data as reliably as it should, which was quite the curveball. And let me tell you about the flexibility. It's supposed to be ultra-flexible, but there's a catch. Keep watching, because I'll reveal how these pros stack up against some annoying issues that might make you regret your purchase. If you're someone who charges multiple devices every day, whether it's your iPhone, Samsung, or Switch, this review is for you. Keep in mind, not all cables are created equal, and a poorly performing cable can slow down your day, literally. Now, let's dive into the nitty-gritty and figure out if this Belkin cable matches its hype or if you should be looking elsewhere. I promise, this gets interesting fast. If a cable can disappoint that much, what's really going on? First off, the compatibility is truly one of its biggest draws. Belkin lists it as seamlessly connecting with the latest iPhone 17 series, Samsung Galaxy S24 and S25, Google Pixel 10, and even the Nintendo Switch 2. They even mention it works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So if you want a cable that works across devices, this one ticks that box. This kind of versatility is beneficial for anyone with multiple gadgets, so it's a big plus. But here's the twist. While it supports all these devices, some users report inconsistent charging speeds when using third-party chargers, and that's a problem if you rely on fast charging daily. Now let me tell you about the durability claim, a major selling point. Belkin says the Boost Up Arrow Charge cable survived 25,000 bends and 10,000 plugins in their tests, which sounds impressive. I mean 25,000 bends. That could mean twisting it every day for years without failing. And the cable is made with ultra-flexible silicone technology that supposedly makes it manageable and long-lasting. But that said, some users have noticed the connectors become loose after just a few months. So the cable might survive bending, but the connection ports are another story. It seems the cable's build quality is high, until you plug and unplug it enough times to create wear on the ends. Here's a mini promise. I'll share a clever trick later on to maximize your cable's lifespan. But before that, let's tackle the data transfer and syncing capabilities, which often get overlooked. Belkin markets the Boost Up Arrow Charge not just as a charger, but also for syncing music, photos, and other data between your devices and computers. It holds a USB-F certification, meaning it meets official standards for performance and safety. That sounds reassuring, right? However, in real-world use, several users found syncing speeds slower than expected or intermittent connections, especially when used with USB-A ports via adapters. If you're someone who needs reliable data transfer, this could be a deal-breaker. Let me throw in a joke to lighten the mood. Why did the USB cable break up with the charger? Because it found the connection was too one-sided. Ha! Speaking of connections, the Belkin Boost Up Arrow Charge durability on the plug ends seems questionable despite the cable's bend resistance. Another point that caught my attention was the fast charging claim. Belkin says you can get up to 50% charge in 36 minutes on compatible devices using an 18W or higher charger. This is based on testing with Google Pixel phones. But what about others? For the iPad Pro, it claims 0 to 50% in around 75 minutes. However, some users report that speeds slow down after the initial rapid charge, which is normal, but the degradation appears more noticeable compared to other premium cables. So if you're counting on a consistent fast charge, be aware that this might not always happen. Here's a question to ponder. Would you compromise a tiny bit of fast charging speed for a cable that lasts significantly longer and has better data syncing? Or do you prefer the cheapest option that works most of the time? Keep this in mind as we get closer to the final verdict. Oh, and speaking of money, you might be wondering, is $10.71 a good price for this cable? Honestly, for the brand recognition and compatibility range, it's competitive. You can find cheaper USB-C cables, but often they lack durability or speed. Then again, some premium brands offer cables that cost slightly more but promise better longevity. Prices on Amazon tend to fluctuate, so I recommend checking the link in the description for the best deal right now. But remember, lower price doesn't always mean better value in the long run. Before I wrap up, here's another joke. Why don't USB cables ever get tired? Because they have endless connections. Well, unless they're the boost-up arrow charge and start losing grip after a few months. Now for a quick story. I bought this cable because I needed one that was compatible with my iPhone 16 Pro and Pixel 10. At first it was great, super fast charge, flexible, and looked solid. But after about 3 months of heavy daily use, I noticed the connector near the phone started loosening. Charging became intermittent, and syncing sometimes dropped mid-transfer. I even noticed slight fraying of the cable's silicone outer layer. That was disappointing from a $10 plus cable claiming high durability. I switched back to a different brand for work and kept a backup Belkin cable for travel only. This experience perfectly illustrates why you need to consider more than just brand name and initial specs. Here's a mini promise. Stick around until the end, and I'll share the top alternative cables that outperform the boost-up arrow charge in performance and durability for similar or slightly higher prices. You might find a better fit for your needs with just a few extra bucks. So, who is the Belkin boost-up arrow charge USB-C cable for? If you want a versatile cable compatible with the latest devices, need fast charging occasionally, and don't mind replacing the cable every year or so, it could work. It's also for you if you love Belkin products and want an affordable brand name cable with official USB-F certification. However, if you're a power user looking for ultimate durability and super consistent data transfer, maybe keep scrolling. Here's another quick joke. What do you call a cable that tells jokes? A stand-up connector. Okay, back to serious input. To sum up, the Belkin boost-up arrow charge USB-C cable has solid specs on paper, fast charging, wide compatibility, and durability claims that outshine most cables. It's flexible and made with quality materials, and the brand's reputation is trustworthy. But real-world usage reveals some shortcomings like loose connectors after months, inconsistent data syncing, and charging speed drops for some devices. On the plus side, it's priced competitively and works well for most everyday users who don't want to spend a fortune on cables. My honest recommendation: if you want a reliable, budget-friendly cable from a reputable brand with good initial performance, buy the Belkin boost-up arrow charge. Just be prepared that, like most charging cables, it might eventually show signs of wear sooner than the advertised bend tests imply. For less than $11, it's a solid choice, but don't expect it to last forever, especially if you're rough on cables or need intensive data transfers regularly. If you want peace of mind and longevity, consider spending a few dollars more on cables with braided exteriors and reinforced connectors, or those with long-term warranties. I'll leave a couple of highly rated alternatives in the description too. Finally, remember prices change fast on Amazon, sometimes daily, So check the link below for the current best price on the Belkin Boost Up Arrow Charge USB-C cable. Get it now if it fits your needs, and drop a comment with your experience if you already own one. Your feedback helps others make the right choice. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more honest Amazon product reviews that save you time and money. After all, buying cables shouldn't be rocket science, unless you're charging a spaceship.